Here we go. Alrighty. Knicks pull it out. Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. New York Knicks pull out a win that was much closer than it should have been for very close towards the end. There was only a 2-point game with about a couple of minutes left, and then the Knicks pulled it away. They pulled it out. It's great to get a win. They finished the road trip plus 500, 3-2. This West Coast road trip. Indiana's not West anymore, but there was the last game on the road, the West Coast road trip, where LA was just a terrible, terrible weekend for the Knicks. I went to the game, and it was a bummer seeing the Clippers, the Knicks lose to the Clippers. They lost to the Lakers. It was a back-to-back. Once again, they lost the back-to-back in LA last season as well, these Knicks. But then they went to Utah, took care of business there, and then they went to Indiana. In Indiana, these Pacers never want to lose to the Knicks, not even in a season when they are tanking, intentionally tanking. They want one of those top 3 picks. And even then, they rested players the night before so that they could be available for tonight. And they were. And they gave the Knicks a run for their money. This was, honestly, at one point, the final score was 101-92. It could have been easily the reverse. And right now, we would all be pulling our hair out. But it didn't work out that way because of several key players. And one of them is Mitchell Robinson. On a night when Karl-Anthony Towns didn't play because of knee issues, Mitch stepped into the starting lineup, played the most minutes he's played all season, and he delivers a career-high 22 points. He gets a double-double. He gets a couple of blocks. He was everywhere in this game. Loved what Mitch Robinson gave us. And let me tell you something. This is why we've been resting Mitch. Because Mitch can do this in the playoffs. He can completely dominate the boards in the playoffs. I don't care who the opponent is. He will do it when he's rested and he's healthy. And that's what we saw tonight. A career high. He's had 21 rebounds before, I think twice. Tonight he got 22. He could have had more. He could have had his own number, jersey number 23. But it just didn't quite happen. And there was a nice little 2-man game developing between OG Anunoby and Mitch Robinson. We saw in a previous game back, I can't remember which game it was, but a nice alley-oop to him. Tonight we saw there were 3 times, at least 3, where OG fed Mitch for buckets. Interesting. And speaking of OG Anunoby, he delivers a big night for him. 25 points. He inflicted his will, his physicality upon the Pacers, and he delivers 25 points tonight. And the high man in scoring was Jalen Brunson with 29 points and 9 assists tonight. You know, I wish I could be happier about this win, but I will take it. I will take it. We are reaching a stretch where the Knicks, in the next 2 weeks, are going to play a bunch of teams that, beginning with Sunday against Golden State, because I don't think they're going to have Steph Curry, where the Knicks should win the majority of these upcoming games in the next 2 weeks. The toughest opponent will be the final one at the end of these 2 weeks, which is against the Charlotte Hornets, which we do play well against in general. Now, tonight, we had no Karl-Anthony Towns, no Josh Hart, also with knee issues, and Jeremy Sohan, which could have been we could have used him tonight, Jeremy Sohan. His size, his physicality, his ability to rebound, his ball handling, we could have used him tonight. He has an illness. And I watched the Mike Brown post-game interview, and Mike Brown has a cold. So maybe there's a cold going through the team right now. Sohan got it. Mike Brown obviously doesn't have to play. He can just sit there and stand on the sidelines. But he definitely did not sound right. He sounded like he's sick as well. And that can always impair your thought process. You never know. You never know how long he's had this. But the Knicks pull out the win, 101-92. They come back to New York. They're going to play the Golden State Warriors on Sunday. And the very, 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 very good news is The New York Knicks are only one game out of second place. Right there. Knicks have the same amount of wins as the Boston Celtics, but they have played 2 additional games, which unfortunately they've lost. So, they are right on the heels. But remember, we play them the third to last game of the season. I think it's April 9th. I'm not 100% sure about that. If the Knicks can stay this close and we play them April 9th and beat their asses on April 9th, we have the tiebreaker. We're up 2-1. So we win that one. We'll finish 3-1. We get the tiebreaker, and we get the second seed in the Eastern Conference. Yes. That's what I want. Welcome into the Knicks-Verse. Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining me here tonight. We got El Cid in the house. Buzzer Beater. What's up, brother? We got Drew's Reviews. What's up, brother? Man. Mitch on those lobs was looking like Zion. Yes, he was. Nick, look, a win is a win. I'll take it no matter what. I wish the Knicks had not fallen asleep. Had basically just started, I guess fallen asleep in that third quarter. The Knicks were once up 15 points, and then they seized up, couldn't make any shots, and I do believe that Mike Brown's rotations at the time, remember, he's dealing with new kind of rotations. 3 players that he would have easily turned to at any moment were off the shelf. So he's trying to figure things out, trying to create concoctions, and in that third quarter, it didn't quite work. It didn't work at all, honestly. And they allowed the Pacers to win that third quarter. The Knicks at one point only had 12 points with 2:17 left in the quarter. That's it. They were up 11 at the half. They were up 56-45, and then they allowed Indiana to take control of this game in that third quarter. Nesmith hits a 3 to give the Indiana a lead, 74-73, with 6 seconds left in that quarter. But then Jordan Clarkson hits a buzzer beater 3 to give the Knicks a lead, 76-74, and the Knicks never gave the lead back after that point. We're going to break this game down. I got highlights for you guys. Let's get into it. It is, it's a night to celebrate somewhat, because to be, this close to second place, it's been a struggle. At one point, it looked like Boston was going to run away with it, with the second seed. And now they're just one game ahead of us. And basically, if the Knicks win as many games as Boston wins until the next time they face each other, it's in the Knicks' hands to get the second seed. And I really believe it is in their grasp. They can do this because the Knicks face very, very shaky opponents in the next, next 8 games here. In the next, 7 games. Here's who the Knicks face. They face the Warriors on Sunday without Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. They face these Pacers again on Tuesday, but at MSG. Then they face the Grizzlies at MSG, who the Grizzlies are, struggling. They face the Nets at MSG, and then they face the Wizards at MSG. And then they face the Pelicans. Now, the Pelicans have been playing better of late. They did lose tonight, I believe. And then on March 26th, the final game of this next 7 games, they play the Charlotte Hornets. Knicks could easily go 7-0 in these next 7 games. They could. And when you tack on tonight's win in Utah, that's a 9-game winning streak the Knicks could put together. And that's kind of what I've been feeling. Now, let's say they drop one of those. Just drop one. That would still give them, tonight they already won. So they're 43, so there's 7 games. Let's say they go 6-1. They'll be 49-26. 49-26 with about 7 games to go. I like our odds. I like our odds of catching the Celtics. I certainly do. Here we go. New York Knicks win 101-92 against the Obi Toppin Indiana Pacers. Yes, Obi Toppin made a return tonight. Obi Toppin is one of my favorite players in the NBA. Just got to say, I'm bummed that he's not a Knick, but I understand. Actually, I don't. I think it's ridiculous he's not a Knick. I think we gave him away. It was a big mistake. He delivered big buckets for the Pacers in the finals, the NBA Finals, 20 points against OKC in that Game 6. I think it's utterly. I think that was a Tom Thibodeau thing, and that's another reason why I'm happy Tom Thibodeau is not the coach of this team at this point. But this man right here, Mitchell Robinson, delivers a career-high 22 rebounds. Rebounding masterclass, beautifully said. He was all over the place. And it wasn't just his rebounding. I mean, he was just doing it from both ends. He had 7 rebounds in the first 4 minutes of the game. First 4 minutes of the game. So he got 15 rebounds in the other 44 minutes. But in the first 4 minutes, he had 7 rebounds. He was outstanding. He was everywhere. Everywhere. Let's see. This is all taking time to... here we go. And then this was his stats. Mitch Robinson, as the Knicks beat the Pacers 101-92. He had 22 rebounds, career high, 9 offensive, 12 points. He was 6 of 10 from the field, 2 blocks, 2 steals, a plus 20 in plus-minus game high. And there was one moment there where he just delivered a beautiful putback off of Jalen Brunson miss that late in that fourth quarter when the Pacers were threatening to pull ahead and take this game. And instead of it being, it was 86-83 at the time. If that had been missed, they could have tied it. Instead, he put the putback, and it was 88-83, and the Knicks just kept going from there. Though the Pacers did cut the lead to 2. But then McCall finally hits a bucket. He hits a big 3, and OG gets a fast break transition dunk off a deep pass from Jalen Brunson into the corner for a corner 3. No, actually, not quite. That was a dunk, sorry, from Jalen Brunson. And the Knicks build up a 9-point lead. It was 97-88 with 1:39 left, and they pretty much coasted the rest of the way. But it was close. It was closer than it should have been for the players who were out on the court. It was a lot closer than it should have been. Shout out to the chat. Who we got in here? We got Carlos Guzman. What's up, brother? We got D. Perez. Such a stressful game. This is literally the worst team in the league. Why so much struggle? Well, you know why? Because they're only the worst because of the injuries, honestly. And they have quality players on that Pacer squad, and they would rather, even though they're trying to tank and get their best positioning possible for the lottery in the NBA draft, they'd rather, lose to other shitty teams and beat the Knicks. It's a pride thing. They don't want to let us have that mental advantage over them, and I respect that. I respect that tremendously, especially in the era of all the tanking garbage that's going on in this NBA. It's really appalling what's happening. So I respect what the Pacers did tonight. I totally respect it. They came out, they were like, we want to beat this fucking team. They tried. They tried hard. They almost pulled it out. They almost did it. But they couldn't because of this man right here. Mitchell Robinson right there, number 23, defensive player of the game. And he deserves it, deserves all the love. Loved what he did tonight. I am surprised Tyler Kolek did not get a single minute of play. Did he? I don't think he played at all tonight. We'll have to check the box score. I don't remember him being on the floor at all. But this dude, he found his touch tonight. Not so much from the three-point line. He found it inside the arc. One of the things, he has been struggling tremendously inside the arc. And when I say struggling, I mean compared to what we're used to from him the past couple of seasons. He hasn't been at the level that he used to be. And tonight he delivers 29 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. The first quarter he was killing it. At one point he had 11 points. He was 5 of 9. He was killing it for the Knicks. But the Knicks only had a 3-point lead at the end of the first quarter, 24-21. But it was the first lead that the Knicks had in this entire, after the first quarter, in this entire road trip. The first lead they had. And how ironic is that? How ironic is that? The first time we're not using that same starting lineup with Hart and Cat. And we finally finished the first quarter with a lead. Now, I'm not blaming Cat. You guys know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Get into the next one. OG Anunoby. Big game. He played like a man determined. He played like the player that we were seeing in the first 6 to 8 weeks of the season, where he was clearly one of the top 15 players in the NBA in those first 6 to 8 weeks. That's how he played tonight. Delivers 25 points, 8 of 16 from the field, 2 of 4 from the three-point line, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. And I believe maybe 4 of those were him feeding Mitch. There is a beautiful two-man game developing between Mitchell Robinson and OG Anunoby right now. We saw a glimpse of it in the previous game, and now we saw much more of it tonight. And I hope that continues. Because when you have two of the best defenders in the NBA who can create a synergy on the court like that, offensively, you have a tremendous advantage. And that might really, and especially, remember, the playoffs are totally a different animal. There are no back-to-backs, and there's no more games after. Like, each game is the game. And that's it. Your season is over. You don't have to, manage anything. So Mitch is going to be playing 30-plus minutes a game in the playoffs, which we have not had that until tonight, all season long. So if a great two-man chemistry develops between OG and Mitch right now, and it flows into the playoffs, it's going to be a tremendous advantage. In fact, this is one of the reasons why I believe the Knicks are the team to beat in the East. Yeah, okay, Celtics, they got Tatum back. They have Jaylen Brown, who, all NBA. They have Derek White, who's phenomenal. I mean, for a wing, incredible shot blocker and shot maker and creator and all that. Yes, I get all that. And then, Detroit with their tremendous defense, and they got Cade. And then Cleveland, they're trying to build something. I get all that. Here's the difference. They don't have greatness the way we do. We have the best point guard of all that group in Jalen Brunson, and tonight he showed it. You might want to make a case for Cade, but we've seen that Brunson is a playoff riser. Cade at his first opportunity didn't quite meet the challenge. Maybe he will this playoffs. Maybe this will be the playoffs where he steps up, but we haven't seen it yet. But we've seen Brunson do it. He historically does it. We also have the very best rebounder in the NBA in Mitch Robinson, especially offensive rebounder. He out-rebounds other entire teams. When you look at the list of offensive rebounds per 36 minutes, he out-rebounds. And he's a total outlier. So he's the greatest rebounder in the game right now. And we have the best point guard in the East right now. And then we have Karl Anthony Towns, who is the best big man shooter in the East. You see where I'm going here? Best. And then we have OG Anunoby, by far one of the best two-way players in the NBA, especially when he's playing like this. And in the East, there's no doubt. There's too much top-level quality talent on this team that other teams cannot stack up with. And then we're gonna get Deuce McBride back, who is actually our best 3-point shooter. What was he averaging? 42 points, 42% a game, and we have like a rookie, Mo Diawara, who's averaging 40% from the 3-point line for the entire season. And then we have Mikal Bridges, who, as frustrated as we are with him, and we legitimately should be, look what he did in the playoffs last season. Look what he's done throughout his career historically when the games matter the most. He delivers. He delivered victories for us last year. And I'm expecting more of the same from that. So these discussions of, the Knicks have these issues, all these other national media and all that stuff, I get it because they want to get clicks and all that stuff, but you and I, we watch every Knicks game. We know who this team is. Now, tonight didn't embolden me that much, honestly. And look at that play right there. That was a beautiful play. When he drove baseline, OG, and he found a trailing Mitch, and then Mitch with his putbacks. It really was a dynamic performance tonight. Outstanding. And then here's the fun. The guy in the great warm-up suit right next to Mitch right there. Josh Hart. I know on this channel I've bitched and complained about him starting a lot, and I've had issues with him and everything, but he is an unbelievably unique player. He shouldn't be starting, but in terms of him, what he can actually, how he can impact a team and their ability to win, there's no doubt about that. He's an impact player, and he puts it all out on the court when he's out there, and you've got to respect that. So that's like the next, he's like the 6th guy, 7th guy. This team is stacked. It is flawed. I'm not gonna doubt that. We don't have enough individual playmakers. We don't have another Jalen Brunson. The closest is Clarkson. He's the closest. Or Deuce. Deuce can create for himself. He can. But tonight, OG showed he can create for himself. He took advantages of a defense when they weren't quite set, and he attacked it. He was constantly on attack mode, and that's the mentality he's got to continue. And I believe that toenail, maybe it's growing back enough. It had impeded him for a while because he was playing unbelievable basketball at one point for one stretch. And then we get Deuce back. I'm telling you guys, you guys should start feeling pretty good right now. The Knicks could easily go 7-0 in the next 7 games, the next 2 weeks. Easily. At the weakest, at the lowest, I think 6-1, maybe 6-1. So we're going to be right there. All right, that's my whole spiel for these Knicks. Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining me here tonight. We got Stephen Ace 28115. What's up, man? Loch Ness has the longest tenure on the team. I know he does. I love that. And I saw like a tender moment between him and Obi. Both guys drafted by the Knicks. They played together. They spent a lot of time together. It was touching. It was a touching moment. Here, we'll just play some highlights here. It was a very touching moment to see that between them when they were hugging at the end of the game. Obi Toppin should still be on this squad. Honestly, I believe if he was on this team last year, it would have been us in the finals. That's how I feel about that. I mean, we gave him away for nothing. Truly, for nothing. We had 2nd-round picks or some shit. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah. Oh, look at Brunson right there, bully balling. And then we got OG coming in. Look at that, he gets the and one. OG was an absolute monster tonight. 25 points for him. Clarkson carrying over the good mojo from the Utah game that he had, where he burst out. I think what he had 27 points. Look at this beautiful alley oop that started off the game, and then Huck. I gotta say, Huck Porty though, I don't feel he's a rotation center in the NBA in any way. He really has such a long way to go. He's regressed so much, but this is only his second season. There's Pacome Dadi. Logo Pacome. Pacome logo. He hit a big three-pointer from the logo because the shot clock was winding down. Here comes OG coming down. Boom! Look at the dunk. He had at least 5 or 6 of those. Oh, my girlfriend's cooking something. It smells so good. Okay, look at Brunson. Okay, let me talk about Brunson right now. Brunson's footwork tonight, it was back. I haven't really talked that much about him recently, just a little bit, but I have tweeted about him. I'm a little worried about him. I'm worried that maybe he's playing through an injury and it's keeping him from being his excellent self that he can be. But tonight, we saw a different version. We saw a bit of the guy who we're used to, who can just get into that non-restricted area and just make buckets. And using his incredible footwork and incredible handle. In the Clippers game, when I was watching him live in the Clippers game, I could see he just was a little slower than I'm used to. His handle was a little looser. And I honestly feel, and this is, I feel like he should get some time off. And maybe in these next 7 games is the time to give him some time off. Maybe he doesn't play the back-to-back games that are coming up right now. The back-to-back games are against so we play the Pacers on Tuesday and then the Grizzlies on Wednesday. Maybe he doesn't play the Grizzly game. Let him rest. Let Tyler Kolek start or Alvarado and give him some rest. Don't burn him out. Barely play him against the Nets or against the Wizards, either one. Give him maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever. Just let's try to preserve him a little bit. He needs some kind of a breather. He didn't get it in the All-Star break because he was a starter. And he also played in the Saturday, the Shooting Stars thing, which they won with him, Cat, and Allen Houston. So this might be one of those times where Mike Brown has to start thinking ahead to the playoffs and looking at his players and saying, you know what, you guys need a breather. Because a year ago, you guys remember, Brunson sat out for 15 games exactly right now, a year ago. Now, it's because of an injury, but it also gave him a breather. Now, it was necessary then because of the way Thibs was playing his starters, overplaying the starters, if you guys remember that. But we're not that dissimilar in a dissimilar situation. I think Brunson, the load he carries every game is so heavy that I think I think if the Knicks turned to him and said, you know what, you're going to develop some ankle soreness for the next 5 days, and just have him book a trip to Bermuda and just spend some time on the beach for 3 days, just chill and let him recharge his bats. We need him to recharge his batteries because we do not get to the NBA Finals without him replicating his sensational postseason play that he has done in the past 4 seasons. Is it 4 seasons? Yeah. He's a little scorched right now, despite what we saw tonight. He's a little scorched right now. So I think that's a strategic move the Knicks should do right now. And this is the week. These next 2 weeks is the period to do it. Do I think they're going to do it? Highly doubt it. But if you guys believe in that, get out there, shout this out, amplify this, clip this, send it out into the world, because we need Jalen Brunson. We need a rested Jalen Brunson for the playoffs. We need him to be as sharp and crisp as possible for this NBA playoffs, because this is our time. This is it. Here's the other thing, and I'm going to talk to you Knicks fans right now. The Knicks fans that are all doubters and are like, oh, we suck, we're not going to get past the first round, the second round, or all this stuff. Why? Aren't you a fan? I mean, this is the best team we've had in years. Get on board. This is the time to believe in this team. Who gives a shit when it ultimately happens? Your fandom matters. Your belief matters. There is like a universal consciousness, and it matters. This team deserves your belief. This team has the best chance of any Knicks team that we have had in 20 plus years to get to the NBA Finals. And fuck the Detroit Pistons. I don't give a shit. Fuck the Boston Celtics and their Tatum excitement. I don't give a shit. And the Cavs with Harden. I don't give a shit. This is the team to give a shit about. This team has enough to actually win it all. Do things have to go with, turn out to be the right way? Yes. Things have to unfold themselves properly for it to happen for us. But it can. We saw it last season. I was here like a year ago saying the same shit to everybody. Everyone's all freaked out. Oh, we can't beat the Cavs. We can't beat the Celtics. We can't beat any good teams. Everyone was whining and crying about it. I was like, no. Stop that shit. This team is built to beat the Celtics. And guess what? They fucking did it. And they're going to do it again. They're going to beat every team they need to beat in the East in the playoffs, and they're going to get to the NBA Finals. And if you don't get on board with that, you're going to miss out. Because that's what being a fan is about. Hope. Proof is for the losers. Mikal Bridges, 30 minutes, finally gives you double digits in points tonight. 11 points, plus 11. He hit a big. He was 0 for 3 from a 3-point line, and he hit the biggest 3 of the game towards the end there. He had a big, huge 3 to finally give the Knicks some breathing room, and they helped them pull away from the Pacers. Mitch, 12 points. Plus 20 for him. The bench, all the bench players on the Knicks were minus tonight. -3 for Pacome, -8 for Huck Porty, who I've already said, I don't think he really is a rotation NBA center in the NBA. Knicks are going to have to look into some alternatives, especially when the draft's coming up. Our friend of Knicks-Verse, Stephen Foxy, he sent me a tremendous breakdown of the players, college players that the Knicks may have a chance of drafting in this upcoming draft. And Condon from Florida could be an interesting replacement for Ariel Huck Porty. And I'm totally open to look into that because I just don't see it with him tonight. He gave you 1 rebound in 13 and a half minutes of play. How does that happen? 1 rebound, 13 and a half minutes? And then he got into this weird little Huff and Huck little battle where there was like already 3 loose ball fouls in the first half between the two of them. It's like kind of mediocre versus mediocre, and then But the difference is Huff can hit a 3. Huckporty he didn't even look at the rim. And the other guy who didn't look at the rim was Alvarado. He plays 13 and a half minutes. Not even one shot attempt. Gave you 2 assists. It was a -2 in his 13 and a half minutes. And Diawara, who's out there, plays almost 20 minutes. He's hustling. Wasn't a good game for him in terms of his ultimate production, but it's a good game for him in terms of developing as a player, as a human being. He missed all 3 of his 3-point shots. They were a little rushed for him. He has like 2 nice finishes in the lane, but ultimately he was 2 of 9. But he got 5 rebounds, picked up an assist, gave you 4 points, but he was the team low in plus minus, a -9 in his near 20 minutes of play. But we've seen him. This is part of the maturation process. You're going to have nights where you're not going to have it, but you can still give the effort when you're out there. And defensively, the guy, he's growing leaps and bounds defensively. And then you have Pacom Dadier, which I was happy to see. Him and Huckporty were the first 2 subs into this game at the 7-minute mark. And he came in, he hit the big 3, and he got a nice rebound at one point that I saw. And, he got a block shot as well. So he gave you 3 points. He's super young. He's much more raw than even Diawara was really raw. But because Diawara, the way he approaches the game just fits with the mentality of an NBA player much more so than the way Dadier has come into this league. He's leapfrogged over Dadier. But, I still think Dadier may have some kind of future in the NBA. As a guy that comes off the bench to give you some buckets and play some defense. He has great size, great length. He's worth continuing to develop. But I will say, Jose Alvarado's minutes make me crave for the return of Miles McBride. Yeah. He really has not. He has digressed tremendously recently. But maybe he can turn it around. Let's hope he can turn it around. But either way, tonight was a big, big victory for the New York Knicks. They are now firmly in third place above the Cleveland Cavaliers, who also won tonight. And the Knicks are just one game behind the Boston Celtics. And the Celtics have, I believe, the third toughest strength of schedule for the remainder of the season. And the Knicks, I believe, are in the bottom 5 in terms of strength of schedule. And I just showed you those. Well, I just talked about the 7 games. Actually, let's pull it up. Let's pull it up here. Because that is something I want to see here for you guys. Because I was talking about it, but I should. So here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games left. And Golden State should be an easier win for the Knicks because without Steph, and we're playing at home. And then we're playing the Pacers at home. Hopefully we'll have Cat and Hart back, or one of those two guys back for both these games. And then we go to Brooklyn, which is basically kind of a home game anyway. And then we play the Wizards at home, and we play the Pelicans at home, and then we travel to Charlotte. This is the first game that's a real challenge in these next 6 games. The Knicks could easily go 6-0, and then we travel to OKC. If the Knicks pull off that win there, be fabulous, man. Fabulous. That would be fabulous. And then we got Houston. These are the two toughest games before the Boston game that we have. This, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks only lose 2 games for the rest of the season. That's how I feel about it. I feel good about it. The results of this game aside, the way the game came about aside, I mean, yeah, the Knicks allowed the Pistons to get close. That third quarter was a disaster. They built a 15-point lead and then went completely cold. They only scored like 4 points for like a 5-6 game stretch or something like that. And they allowed the Pacers to get to tie the game. And they even took the lead at one point right before the end of the third quarter. But that's when Clarkson hit that buzzer beater three to give they were up 74-73, the Pacers were. And then that was with 6 seconds left. And then Clarkson hits, like literally, buzzer beater, and the Knicks go up 76-74 and never give the lead back. But you can see pretty late into this game, you can see right around here. Actually, I wish you could see my cursor. I got to get something where you guys can see where I'm like pointing at on the screen. But right here, it's about 3 minutes left in the game, and it's just a 2-point game at that point. But that's when the Pacers cut the lead to 2, but then Mikal Bridges hits that 3, and then OG gets the fast break transition dunk from a deep pass from Brunson, and they take a 9-point lead, 97-88, with a minute 40 left, and they just coasted from that point on. The biggest lead of the game was 15 points for the Knicks. They were tied 5 times. There were 6 lead changes pretty early on. Here are the team comparisons. The Knicks out-rebounded them 53-46. The assists were not there because both teams shot terribly tonight. Only 20 assists for the Knicks, 21 for the Pacers, but 9 of those assists came from Brunson. Knicks had 4 steals, 4 blocks. Only committed 11 turnovers, but Pacers, they were stingy as well. They only committed 10 turnovers. Knicks shot 42% from the field, under 30% from the three-point line. It was one of those nights where just teams could not make buckets. But look at the second chance points. Knicks won it 16-11, right? They won it 16-11. But in the third quarter, the Knicks allowed the Pacers to get 11 second chance points. And the Knicks only got 2. And that's how they got back into this game. And then from that point on, it was just treading water until it was the final minute and a half of the game. Yeah, as frustrating as that sounds. I mean, that's just the way it came down. Wait, hold on. Let me get to this here. Yeah, so 11. So check this out. See these 11 second chance points for the Pacers right here? Right here? All of those were in the third quarter. And that's how they got back into this game. The fast break points as well. And, they're a high-flying run-and-gun team, but they only got 7 fast break points to the Knicks with 6. And the Knicks dominated in the paint 46-38 thanks to Mitchell Robinson and OG Anunoby. Let's go. Shout out to We Survey 100 People. Thank you so much, brother, for... Again, he gifted another 5 Knicks-Verse gift memberships. Patrick Bryan, 8,400, got a membership. Dean Bushnell, 2,490, got a membership. Donkey Eater, 6,942. Ohio Hurricane, 9,843. And Rome Farrick, 4,822. So much. Thank you so much. We're Survey 100 People. I appreciate your support for the channel tremendously. Great mod. Welcome to the party. Absolutely. Love this win, says AJ Towen. Love this win against the Pacers. We undefeated in their crib. Yeah. That's the one thing. No matter what, it was tough. It was close. It was down to 2 points at one point with just minutes left. But a loss would have been horrific. So the Knicks did what they had to do to pull out this victory. And that's really ultimately what matters. Terrell White's like, George is on fire. Yeah, man, I'm on fire, man. Yeah. I hear so much. I mean, I know you guys all hear it too. And it's just at some point, I'm like, what? Why are you a fan then? If you're just a doubter, You're just a doubter and like waiting. This is what being a fan is about. Suffering and then rejoicing. And we are going to rejoice this year. It's going to happen. I'm telling you guys, there's no doubt in my mind that we are going to achieve more than we achieved last season in the playoffs. There's no doubt in my mind about that. All right, going to wrap this up because I can smell dinner. It smells incredible. And you guys have been awesome. I'm going to try to do a video tomorrow to get deeper into all of this stuff. Saturday is usually a little easier for me. Going to break this stuff down a little more. But at the end of the day, the Knicks pulled out. They came back home after a 5-game road trip to the West Coast, which is always a brutal trip, especially with a back-to-back in L.A. They lost 2 games in L.A. I wish they had split. If they had split one of those 2 games in L.A., they'd be going back 4-1. Instead, they pulled off the other ones. They beat Denver, Utah, and Indiana. They go back 3-2. And they go back only 1 game behind the Boston Celtics. And I'm telling you, man, I think by the end of these 2 weeks, by the time we face the Charlotte Hornets, we may already have surpassed the Celtics. And it won't be like, that April 9th game will be the deciding game. We might already be clearly ahead of them by that point. Let's go. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please follow me on social media. Subscribe to the channel. We got 11,500 subscribers right now, which is wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing to the channel. And if you've been here before and haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And if you're a current subscriber and haven't turned on the notification bell, please do so you're alerted when I go live or drop a new video. And hit the thumbs up button for me. Share the video. Join the channel. We serve 100 people, just gave 5 memberships away. That's fantastic. It's beautiful support for the channel. You guys can join as well. The join button is down below. And check out the merch store. You get your New York Knicks-Verse hats and the gear, the shirts, everything. Check it out. Actually, this is not one of those, but I thought it was. I was wearing it the other day. Yeah, the support is important and appreciated tremendously. All right, I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go. Yes.